We present the story of the human life journey in one go. This story begins 3 million years ago, when the first humans appeared. Years ago, a fossil was discovered that is estimated to be 3 million years old. Many scientists believe this is one of the most important fossils ever found. The fossil was named Lucy, and the species to which this fossil belongs is called primate, which means the first. The species associated with this fossil is called Australopithecus. Scientists believe Lucy's fossil marks the first step in human evolution. All these early humans, as history shows, lived in Africa. 3 million years ago, the various regions of the Earth were not very different from each other. However, if we look closely, they were actually quite different. Currently, if you look at the nature of Africa, it is filled with various animals. 3 million years ago, Africa looked much the same, though many of the animals living there have since become extinct. One famous extinct species was the saber-toothed tiger, and during the time Lucy lived, the most dangerous animals in Africa were crocodiles. Crocodiles were very successful hunters because all animals need water, and crocodiles would lie in wait near water sources, never going hungry. They would ambush any creature that came to drink, and Lucy was one of those creatures. Lucy's life was hard. She would go to drink water, only to be caught by a crocodile. She would pick fruit, only to be caught by saber-toothed tigers. She would hunt, only to become prey for other predators. Finding food was a daily struggle. 90% of the Australopithecus fossils found, including Lucy's, show signs of being killed. There is no fossil that hasn't suffered damage. For example, the skulls often show teeth marks from leopards, but most of the fossils, including Lucy's, indicate that they were killed by crocodiles. The weather was hot, and one had to go to the water to drink. But drinking water without paying close attention meant death, as crocodiles would wait for hours for any animal to approach the water. One fascinating fossil found is that of a 3-year-old Australopithecus child. This child wasn't killed by a crocodile or a tiger. The skull showed marks of powerful bird, possibly an eagle or another large bird. Amid all this killing and violence, the only skull that remained intact, without predator damage, was Lucy's. It is clear that she died of natural causes. The fossils of Lucy and other Australopithecus species showed scientists that these creatures gradually brought their lives down from the trees and onto the ground. This was evident from their shoulder blades, which were a mix between those of humans and monkeys. You see, a monkey's shoulder blades are very strong, enabling them to hang from trees. The shoulder blades of Australopithecus show that their bodies were becoming weaker in this regard because they no longer needed such powerful shoulders for life in the trees. However, other parts of their bodies were becoming stronger. We've mentioned that the greatest problem for Australopithecus was crocodiles, but there was another major issue that we've overlooked: their hunger. The teeth of these creatures show they were herbivores, eating all sorts of plants, fruits, and even the roots of plants. When scientists realized that they also ate roots, it revealed their intelligence. Eating roots indicated that they had figured out that roots would help them feel fuller. Interestingly, even today, chimpanzees, gorillas, and other monkeys do not seem to have the intelligence to dig up and eat roots. This shows that Australopithecus had already begun to diverge from modern monkeys. No other monkeys had decided to leave the trees. In some areas of Africa, footprints have been discovered that show they walked on 2 legs and did not use their hands for walking, much like modern humans. As we've mentioned, Australopithecus had to sustain itself on plants. Although they could have eaten meat, they didn't have easy access to it because, like other carnivores, they lacked the strength to hunt. Modern monkeys, for instance, use tools, but not in a complex manner. They may pick up a stone to crack something open, but it's not sophisticated like the tools humans make. It's very likely that creatures like Lucy, Australopithecus, manipulated stones, sharpening them into tools. This shows that they were already moving away from monkeys and developing their intelligence. The oldest modified stones found date back 3.3 million years, which predates Lucy. No animal today can sharpen a stone like this, showing that Australopithecus had begun to use tools. Australopithecus was about 1 meter tall, and with this height, they couldn't run fast. However, evidence shows that they began eating meat. They saw predators hunt and waited for them to finish, so they could eat the leftover meat. Lions and tigers typically only eat the meat from the body, but Australopithecus understood that breaking open bones could provide them with additional meat. They could consume all the meat from the bones and leave only the bones behind. Vultures would wait for them to finish, but the Australopithecus left nothing behind. When Lucy's skull was compared with that of a modern chimpanzee, it was found that Lucy's skull was slightly larger. Chimpanzees are among the most intelligent monkeys, but they can't make tools or think of digging up roots to eat. Even if given a closed box with food, they wouldn't know how to open it. In addition to Lucy's fossil, another interesting find was a stone discovered in a cave in South Africa. This stone is estimated to be about 2.9 million years old. Though its exact purpose is unclear, scientists believe that Australopithecus may have shaped it into a face-like shape, which could be considered the first sculpture in history. The fossil of Lucy that we introduced was from a female Australopithecus, and she likely had children. The fossil shows that she was very different from a modern female chimpanzee, as chimpanzees can give birth very easily, while Lucy would have experienced a very painful birth, which often resulted in the death of the mother or the child. Another difference between Australopithecus and gorillas or other monkeys is that, unlike gorillas, where only one male can be part of the group, Australopithecus lived in family groups. A major difference is that, unlike other monkeys, the males of Australopithecus did not leave the females after birth, but instead stayed, forming a family. When Lucy's skeleton was analyzed, it showed that she had died of natural causes. However, one of her bones was broken, and she had lived with that broken bone. Australopithecus had another notable difference. When one of them died, the others showed signs of grief and mourning. This is very rare in monkeys, and only chimpanzees have been observed mourning the death of their young, staying by the body for several days. The story does not end here. We want to understand where we truly came from and how we got here, of course, from a scientific perspective. The fossils discovered show that the next early human species after Australopithecus was Homo habilis. When we look at the shape and characteristics of Homo habilis, it becomes clear that they were much closer to humans. Subscribe to our channel. Give it a like and watch the story of Homo habilis on the next video.